We placed close to 500,000 pieces in one PO. I feel like shipping from China is not necessarily new, but the way how it's done right here, it's pretty new.
It'll take you fooling. You're not new to it. Kinda killing. Yeah. Leaving out the club with no just a dub. You somewhere on house arrest pretending you in love. Exfoliate that your wig here scrub. Like I wanna know what's up. What happened to us?
Touchdown, Shanghai airport. 12-hour flight. Now driver is waiting for us outside. Take you guys along. We're gonna do warehouse visit, but also meeting with the owner of one of our factories. We're gonna place a big Q4 order. So I have to meet the boss in person, saying that we don't fool around this time of the year. So here we are, Ningbo guys, shipping, getting ready for Q4. Yo, I got a sick brand here. It's a familiar face. No man, like really cool. I think also because we are producing in Europe and our packaging factory is here in China. So like the packaging comes here and the product comes, so they also have to assemble. I think they're assembling right now also some products, so we can show that as well. But no, 100%. This must be my favorite brand of the warehouse. But I'm not biased at all. This was actually a new product. Let me see if it's already in. This was our recent drop. It's called here's clear glass. So you obviously already can guess what it is. As we try to keep and play a little bit with the branding, of course, clear glass. As you can see, this is a transparent version. So it was really requested. Actually, when we dropped it, it was sold out in the first day. So it was a very successful one. So here they're assembling. As you know, like we don't produce in China, but we still ship it to Ecomflow because it's much easier to reach the whole world from here. But we produce in Europe and then we ship it all the way here. Our packaging is from China as well, so we ship with packing duck, our packaging factory. We will get like the empty packaging. I think this one is the empty one. You can see, like this is empty, so they have to fill in the earpods still. You can see like this. Then need to put in there. Then we have the casing. So that's pretty cool. Like packaging, I see it now for the first time. It's a new product, so it looks really good. I mean, yeah, looking at it in person is actually crazy. We're shipping around like 15,000 orders a day here. Then also there's another warehouse close to Hong Kong port for cosmetics. Like they ship liquids, batteries. Here, this is really close to Shanghai port where you see like standard goods. They go through customs here. That saves like 1 to 2 days of shipping time. So yeah, obviously like Ecomflow is built for brands. So there are no drop shippers here. Everything is built from intention as a brand, like hey, what makes sense and what not. Ideally, it also came from an idea as the drop shipping speed, the drop shipping lean efficiency by having the supply chain positioned here rather than having it overseas in the UK or in Europe or in the US. Because what we were seeing, like we saw so much scale, but every time, you know, like when you have peak momentum and you run out of stock, for example, then, you know, like you also lose momentum on your ads. And like sending traffic to a bestsellers collection with half of it out of stock. So yeah, we coming from a dropshipping background where we were never be able out of stock, right? So that was an issue that we saw when we were building brands. With Door & Rose, we started with fulfillment in the Netherlands. And then we thought like, hey, you know, like it's very limited in scale. So we transitioned into China, but that was not really an option because if you have a brand and you ship with a China agent, you mostly have no visibility in stock levels, you don't know what's going on, and like there was no really control. So now with Ecomflow, with their software and their dashboard, it basically feels like even though if you are not in China, 9,000 kilometers away, you're in Europe, in the US, wherever, with the insights and the dashboard, it just feels like you are inside here, like all the updates. Yeah. It's pretty efficient.
I think like a lot of people also think that Chinese fulfillment is often like waiting 1 to 2, 3 weeks for fulfillment. Like, how fast have you seen packages go through to customers?
Yeah, like there's like, it's an average, I would say 7 days is an average. But also depends on how quick the warehouse ships it out. For example, Ecomflow has a 12-hour SLA, meaning from order placed to shipped out, which is also not seen before. That's just because everything here is optimized and efficient. So yeah, in general, I feel like this is really, it's a matter of time until all brands realize how like smart positioning of supply chain can make impact on operations. But it has to be done right. So I feel like shipping from China is not necessarily new, you know, but the way how it's done right here, it's pretty new.
Have you ever raised the value of everyone around you? Have you ever been so high they gotta down you?
Come on! How are you? You got Lightning McQueen in the building.
This is something that I'm literally working on as we speak, which is Ecomflow education. So as you can see on the screen here, what is a good supply chain to me? Supply chain is pretty simple. We've got sourcing product, marketing the product, and then getting the product from A to B. Now, a lot of people, and especially like a lot of people that are here on this channel with me, they are really good at marketing the product, and you know, they probably have a good 3PL to actually get the packages from A to B. But usually throughout the phase of scaling, what happens a lot is that people are very reactive. So people basically bump into problems. So it's always like this, it's like out of stock, oh shoot, then we're short on cash, you know, and then we've got supplier issues. Then we bump into cash flow again. So you're just continuously scaling until you break, scaling until you break, scaling until you break. So optimizing your supply chain for me means to just have consistent growth. So you can actually scale while you optimize. So it's like a very linear curve, just, you know, almost like a hockey stick, just going up.
Where are we heading?
Yeah, Daniel just texted us, came up with a great idea. He said like, I'm going to show you around in the food court of Hong Kong. So yeah, we will be surprised, bro. I've heard that you get the best food of the world there. I was thinking about starting a 75 hard. So I was calling with Ola today on the phone. I said, because I said, yeah, we're gonna do the Locktober for sure, right? So I was calling with him on the phone. I said, let's do 75 hard. He said, bro, there's nothing that if we start a 75 hard that's gonna be different than how we usually live in Dubai. So I was like, yeah, probably you're right. Better just like the lifestyle optimized how we always have it. We got optimized, we got the 8 sleep, we got the chef, we got the blacked out curtains, we got the cool room, we got the the Dubai setup is unbeatable. I feel bad for the competition, man. But yeah, now we're heading to let me find a name. Sheung. So what's the name of the food court? You know?
No, because your address is just only like the roll number.
The Sheung food market. You've ever been there?
Food market.
Yeah, the Sheung.
Wait a moment.
No, never been? I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad sign.
Weezy out of here. Weezy out of here.
What are we eating? What's the first dish of the day?
We don't know.
That's the whole point.
You think you feel it? You're not new to it. You can't fluid.
So we are here at the Shangri-La. I just got a text from one of our factories. They are here now as well. So we have a quick meeting. We're going to talk about the purchase order of Q4. So that's a nice one. There you go.
Just got a morning meeting. Let me hear. Like, We met up with some suppliers.
Yeah. We met with the supplier we work with for a long time. So basically the meeting was about, of course, Q4 is coming up, so we placed a huge PO. And then in person just as well to discuss about the terms and also like the pre-production, because besides just placing a big PO now, what we have with the supplier is that they keep producing our products. So even especially because we as well work with Ecomflow, so we have 1 day post-production to get it from the factory to the warehouse only in a day. So that means that I said as well, like we can continue selling without running out of stock, but only because our factory pre-produces product for us. So yeah, that's basically what we just discussed. I've met with them in person before already. Of course, also with the help of Daniel, like he speaks the language, you bring a certain credibility with you, which is super helpful when you want to build a relationship in general, because we placed close to 500,000 pieces in one PO. For the factory, normally that would be a huge risk, right? But they know our track record, they see that we're serious, and also we meet with them in person. They just know like basically the whole factory also exists because of us. You know, like being able to have a positive cash flow with your product, combining it with fulfillment next to your manufacturer, how we have it, it brings us in a really positive position to scale super hard without worrying about getting out of stock, but also don't worry about cash flow. In general, like when you're starting with your store, place a few POs, start building the relationship already, and then fly out. I would say 200k a month, 300k a month, you're starting to do decent revenue, meaning you're also starting to do placing decent POs. So then I would say fly out to China, meet your supplier, show them that you're serious, and always, you know, like it's also a very good thing to actually find out that you are buying from the source. I mean, Daniel helped us so much by understanding the whole China aspect of factories and just price comparison in general, and also actually having to buy us at the source, because when we just started with the brand 3 years ago, we were buying at a trading agent. So only that, but just, you know, like Daniel guiding us through buy at the source, building the relationship, getting respect, was already a huge thing for us. Me being here the other side of the world, doing business in China, it's still always, you know, who would have thought when I just started out 6-7 years ago, opened my Shopify store and shipping from AliExpress. Now, you know, like it's fun, part of the journey. So I would say definitely fly out to China and get that done 100%. Same, bro.
How was the flight?
Yeah, it was good, man.
Yeah?
Really good. Yes, immediately adjusted to the time zone.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't really sleep at the flight, just powered through and worked. But no, man. I think this probably fits my top, I would say at least top 3 feelings in the world. Coming back home to Dubai. Right, like, you know, it's unbeatable. I would say if you know, you know. Also, I would say I'm blessed to call and actually feel Dubai as home. And like getting back here, feeling immediately, you know, everything is under control, everything is efficient. I know my ways here. I got my setup here. I got everything I need here to dominate this coming Q4. Q4 starting next week. Had a great China trip, laid the foundations. Everything we need to confidently scale on paid. Basically just our backend, making sure our backend is rock solid. Placed huge POs, got great terms with our suppliers. Our main goal, our main focus was to focus on cash flow rather than pushing the price. So what we did is we just focused during negotiations on placing a huge order, and that order we basically just have the sickest terms possible. So we have net 60, meaning that we have 60 days to turn over the inventory. We pay 20% when they send us the stock. Basically, they pre-produce our product. We have only 1 day to get it in the Ecomflow warehouse, so we have 60 days to sell the inventory. This obviously comes from a very great track record and proven, like it's not our first Q4, so we have numbers to show from what we've been doing. So this, of course, made it possible. But yeah, I would say in general, just making sure your backend is solid, making sure that you have the foundation set to confidently scale during Q4 is really important. So yeah, we are back now in Dubai, making sure we get we're gonna focus on the creative output now, man. Backend is fixed. And I would say just for you guys watching, even though if you're not in a position to get those crazy payment terms with your supplier, a few things that you can do is just making sure you understand how your backend works. Make sure you get as much visibility in the full end-to-end supply chain, and make sure you work with a reliable partner, right? Because I've seen time and time again, a lot of our ecom guys are only focused on the ads, only focused on the profit, only focused on making sales. But guys, believe me, breaking your back end is gonna cause you much more troubles than you think, and you will only find out if you find out, and then it's too late. So make sure you work with a reliable source. And even though if you're dropshipping, your agent is buying it somewhere, make sure that you understand where he's buying it. And if you have a brand, make sure that your fulfillment can handle scale. We, as you have seen in this video, visited the Ecomflow warehouse, and those guys are built for scale. You know, like I've seen it from the start. They're now operate for 2 years. I've been in the privilege to help them and give them the understanding of wants and needs of brands. So guys, please work with a great source. You know, don't take my word for it, but I also back it up with my brands. All of our brands are built on the infrastructure of Ecomflow, and they've helped us tremendously by just understanding a lot in our back end, and their dashboard is just a great help. I mean, they are the only in China that can give you that visibility in your stock levels, and also their SLAs, systems, everything is just built for scale. So I would say, that said, super confident going into Q4. We got everything we need. Now it's just time to lock in and, you know, get everything ready for scale. And yeah, I would say just make sure you are on time with everything. Ecomflow has only 2 days of priority onboarding. So if you're still doubting about if your warehouse or whatever is capable, just, you know, reach out, see if Ecomflow is the fit for you. I'm not saying it just because I'm invested in it. I'm saying it because I've seen it with my own eyes from close by. So yes guys, that's how we're gonna end this video. We're gonna lock in, and I'll see you in the next one.